Hello, lovelies. I believe we're good now. Let's get this makeup right. I believe we're good now. Hello, Witchy Wonders. Hello. Hello, Witchy Wonders. Hello, Witchy Wonders. Happy Witchy Wednesday. So if I see folks chiming in right away, I'll know that we're live. I'll know that we're live. Today, we are live. It's Witchy Wednesday, and we are live with the Code of the Christian Witch. I have my magic journal, and I even have tarot correspondences. Yes! Here we are, Steve, Earthkeeper. How you doing, Steve? Hello, Belladonna Nightshade. Well, welcome. I have a new hat. And let me tell you, this new hat, Witchy Wonders and Magical Peeps and Light Workers the world over, this new hat gives me my life. I tell you one thing, I have a new hat. This hat gives me my life. Steve, you rock that. Love you, Steve. Thank you for supporting the Witch and the Wizard as well. Thank you. So this hat's a fabulous hat. You love the hat. Come on, Stitch-a-roo. Hey, Coach Tiffany. Y'all loving the hat. The hat, can I just talk to you for a moment about the hat? The hat is named Marie Laveau. So this is my newest hat. I just received her last night. You know, the conical hat shape is very powerful in the world of wizardry. You understand that witches and wizards throughout the ages have worn the conical shaped hat. It connects you directly to upper realms. Yes, the cone shape. There is a very powerful spiritual reason for the conical shaped hat. Now, all my magical hats, all my witch hats are named after great magicians and wizards and witches. This one is no exception. I received her last night. Her name is Marie Laveau. We all know Marie Laveau. If you don't know Marie Laveau, go to New Orleans, as they say. Go on down to New Orleans and you will quickly understand who Marie Laveau is. If you still do not understand who Marie Laveau is, do a little research, Google her up, and you will find Marie Laveau, an incredible practicer of magic, an incredible witch, at the Marie Laveau. That's what we can say, Steve, the Marie Laveau. So this hat, I feel could be channeling her, because as soon as I got the hat, the name came to me right away, just like that, Marie Laveau. And here we are. Now, do you just notice that the veil has spiders on it? OMG. Remember, spiders in the Native American tradition are very, very powerful. It is said that the whole web of life was weaved by grandmother spider, right? By great mother spider. The web of life. We are all in a web of life that is weaved by spider. So spider, when you have spider medicine and when you come across a spider on your path, know that the spider is about journaling. That when you see a spider, pick up a journal and start writing. Journal your soul. So today, Witchy Wonders, I have a wonderful gift for us today. We are going to go into the code of the Christian witch. It's a 9-point code. I have it right here. Oh! At the code right here for the Christian witch. Along with, I pulled for you tarot correspondences. So I have 9 tarot cards here with the tarot correspondences for our discussion today. It will be so delectable that I pray it feeds your soul and your path as a Christian witch. So what was the inspiration for this teaching that I'm going to share today for us as witches? Here is the inspiration for specifically for Christian witches. Now we have lots and lots of witches on the channel, all of which are welcome. We have hoodoo witches, voodoo witches, we have Christian witches, eclectic witches, head witches, hedge witches, stitch witches, green witches, white witches, solitary witches, Stragia witches. We have all kinds of witches here on the channel. And if you go to Christian Witches on Facebook, the Christian Witches Facebook fan page, you are going to see we did a shout out of our witches from all over the world, and I cannot even tell you how many hundreds of different kinds of witches there are. So trust me. Let's get a smash-a-thon. Smash that like button, baby. Smash that share button, baby. Smash it. Smash it. Can we get a smash-a-thon going? Smash-a-thon. I cannot tell you how many different kinds of witches there are, how many different kinds of magical paths there are, how many different kinds of practices there are, how many different kinds of magic there are. So many, more than we can count, very specific to each witch. Please know that anything I share on this channel is not for any other witches other than myself. This is what works for me. I have my own magic. You have your own magic. Every witch has her own, his or her own magic. Work your magic. Take from this what feeds your soul, and what does not, leave it on the buffet table. It's simply an offering. Okay? I don't speak for all witches. I speak for myself. I speak for what works for me in my magic, and I share it with you prayerfully that will inspire your life, inspire your magic, and really give you that empowerment or wake up within yourself the power and the knowing that you have as a magical being to work your magic. Okay? Work your magic. Now, here is the code of the Christian witch. And it comes from a simple scripture in the Bible. Now let's talk about the Bible for a moment, because the Bible, very misunderstood book. Here's one of my mini Bibles. Most Christian witches have some kind of affinity to the Bible. Now, the Bible is not a rule book. The Bible is not literal. The Bible is not here to give you gloom and doom and tell you what to do and not to do. The Bible is a book of magic as far as I'm concerned. This is a book of spells, hexes, magic, spiritual law, allegory. It's to be understood metaphysically, allegorically, symbolically. It's got symbols and signs and stories and yes, classes in session. Hello. This is not a literal book. This is not a history book. This is not a rule book. This is not something to hit people over the head with and tell them they're doing bad or good or wrong or right. That's not what this book is for. You can use it for that if you like they have used it in many churches, and they have beat people over the head with the Bible, right? The first 20-something years of my life, from 4 to 30 when I was in the cult, y'all know that they beat me over the head pretty good with this book. I had to get over all that. That's what some people are still suffering from. They're suffering from the beat down they got with the Bible, but that doesn't have anything to do with the actual Bible. That's how people used it. That's not what it's for. Understand the distinction between people and spirit. Some people are still so mad and so upset over the Bible and religion. How could you be a Christian witch? Christians do this and Christians do that. Well, that's not what we do. That's what people did. Understand, huh? Yes, isn't that the truth? That's what people did. I don't go by what people do. I go by spirit of the living God, goddess I am within me, right? People, let me ask you a question. 30 years of a beat down here, I saw that. Let me ask you a question. If you saw somebody take a hammer and they took that hammer and they built a house with it, you would say, great, great job. Or they took a hammer, a carpenter, and they made a new bookcase with it. You would say, great use of that hammer. But if you see them take a hammer and hit somebody in the head with it and put them in the hospital, you would say, inappropriate use of the hammer. The hammer was not to hit people over the head with and put them in the hospital. Same thing with the Bible. But you wouldn't swear off hammers because, no, I'm never touching a hammer again. Because somebody took a hammer and they hit somebody over the head and the person landed in the hospital. I can't get over it. And they almost swung the hammer at me and almost hit me too with the hammer. I've sworn off hammers forever. No one says that. It doesn't make sense. You understand that everything is intention. That the person had an inappropriate intention when they picked up the hammer and hit a person on the head. Maybe anger was driving them. Maybe greed. Maybe jealousy. Who knows what was driving them to do that. But you don't say, I'm never using a hammer again because somebody used a hammer at one point or some point in time to hit someone over the head and put them in the hospital. Same thing, you don't swear up, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You're not throwing off this whole book of, because somebody took this book, humans in religions that are made up by humans, took it and hit somebody over the head with it, including ourselves. No, 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 no. That's inappropriate. Get all the wisdom you can from this big book. This big book has a lot of stuff in here that you need to know. A lot of magic. All right? So we're not going to throw out the baby with the bathwater. And we're not going to stew in our old wounds from people beating us over the head with the Bible when that was not the intention or purpose of the Bible. So now we come home to ourselves and we come home to love. Now, here's the true use of the Bible. The true use of the Bible is to get what we call a rhema word. That means you pick it up. Don't let anybody tell you what the Bible means, especially including me. No one tells you what the Bible means. You take the Bible. This is how you can get a rhema word every single morning. You take the Bible, you hold it up to your third eye, right? You hold it to your third eye. You say a prayer. You go into the inner sanctum of your own soul. Ha, 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 mwah, mwah, mwah. Go into the inner sanctum of your own soul. Once you go within to your own soul and you hold the Bible, you open it to a page completely not looking, prayed up. This is going to be the message for you. You take your non-dominant hand, you point it at any verse, and you read it. Take in your hand the scroll from which you have read in the hearing of the people and come to us. Good Lord, that is incredible. You see, and then you turn within and you determine what does this mean for you, and you digest it, and you throw out whatever religion tells you, and you throw out whatever pastor and preacher and teacher and YouTube channel tells you. Nobody can tell you what the Bible means. Nobody can tell you what this book means. You got to get that from inside your own soul, baby. Deal? Let's do it. And that way you will find yourself, you will study to show yourself approved, especially as a Christian witch, and the revelation will come to you. And you're not making up in your own little mind. I can't make up in my own little pea brain what these things mean. It comes to me by revelation, inspiration. It comes to me by realization from the living God, goddess I am within my own soul. That is my soul. That's where it comes from. Hello. Boo to old wounds. Yes, Christina? Let no's go. Oh, religion beat us up real well. We've grown beyond that. Well, governing body is least, oh Lord, governing body, don't get me started on them, JW people. Y'all know my story. They can't tell you what this means. They try. They make it up. They made it up. And then every so often when it doesn't fit what they said, like the world's going to come to an end in 1975. Do you know when I was little, we were running around. I was so scared. I kept, in the whole year of 1975, I was just a young person. I kept looking up at the sky thinking any minute Jehovah God was getting ready to destroy us. So this is it. This is it. Don't have no bank accounts. Don't even get your teeth fixed. Do you know there were Jehovah's Witnesses that wouldn't even go to the dentist to take care of their teeth because they were saying, oh, no, you need to go in and take care of your teeth because Armageddon's about to come anyway. Well, even if Armageddon did come, wouldn't you still want to not have your teeth hurting? That just don't make any sense, does it? See, that's what religion does. It messes people up. It messes you up. Do not let religion mess you up. You have your own mind that God gave you. God, goddess, I am, gave you so that you can determine, decipher, and use the spirit of discernment and wisdom to say what makes good sense and what just does not. I'm going to do this today. Yeah. Yes, get your rhema word from the Bible. And that's how you do it. You just hold it up to your third eye. And you can hold it any way that you want. Whatever way works for you. You hold it up to your third eye. You pray. You breathe. You pray. You connect. You breathe. You pray. You pray. And then you open it. And the word will open to the perfect place. And you take your non-dominant hand, the non-dominant hand, and you point it to wherever you feel led to point it to on that page. And you read exactly what it says. And I will grant mercy to you, that he may have mercy on you and permit you to remain in your own land. Thank you, God. That's lovely. You see, and that word is going to mean something for you. And you're going to turn within and you're going to ruminate on it and meditate on it. And you're going to integrate it into your energetic system so that it becomes a part of you. Yummy. So here is the code of the Christian witch. So many people, and this was inspired by you, because so many people ask me, Reverend Val, how do you become a Christian witch? Where do I start? What is a Christian witch? I don't know. What do y'all believe in? How do y'all conduct yourself? Is there a book? Is there some guidance? What are the spells? What are? There's so many questions. So this will give you a code. This is the code I live by. Once again, this is a code. If the code works for you, if it resonates for you, use it. If it doesn't resonate for you, then I would offer that you create your own code. Code of the Christian Witch. This code is from, it's in my magical journal, one of my magical journals, of which I have many. Here is the code. It is written at Galatians chapter 5, verse 22 and 23. It's a simple code. It's a 9-point code. We know it as the fruit of the Spirit. Now, you might have said, well, I know the fruits of the Spirit, Reverend Val, love, joy, peace, so on and so on. I'm going to give you the code of the Christian witch with the tarot correspondences. Why? Because remember, as a Christian witch, you want to integrate. You want to have your Christ and your craft integrated. You want to have magic and the word integrated within your own being. See, I'll tell you a little bit of story about me. I was conflicted. I was confused. Thank you, Mia Flores. This hat is called Marie Laveau. I was confused. I was conflicted. Why? Because the witch was standing over here and the Christian was standing over here, and they were having a standoff. They were looking at each other like this. I ain't going nowhere. And the Christian was, because there's an aspect of me that loves Christ. Not all the Christian religion, Christ as my master, teacher, way, shower, Christ, the Christ presence. Yes, everybody understand the difference between Christ and Christian. Remember, Christ wasn't a Christian. Christ, right? This Christ spirit in me that was dawning in my consciousness was on one side. And here was the witch on the other, like, hello, I'm magical. How is this all supposed to fit together? Because I was born a witch and I've been seeing spirits and everything since I was little. And if you came up in this camp to tell me that all that is demons and blah, 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 I ain't trying to hear it. So what we gonna do? That was my witch. She was on this side like this, and here was the Christian on the side. They were at loggerheads. Let me tell you, I was confused. I was conflicted. I was trying to figure out, do I want to be a witch or a Christian? Or I was sneaking around trying to be a Christian and didn't let them know that I was a witch, and I had my tarot cards hidden and all. I was in kaflama. That's what we call conflict and drama, kaflama. It didn't work for me. And it does not allow you to stand in the power of who you truly are when you're confused and conflicted. So this is going to help you not be confused and conflicted. You will be integrated as a Christian witch. Integrated. So here are the fruits of the Spirit. Galatians chapter 5, verse 22 to 23. I wrote all 9 of them down. I'll give them to you. Number 1, love. This is the code of the Christian witch, love. Number 2, joy, also known as gladness. People always like, I love your energy, Val. Yeah, because I'm happy. Number 3, peace, that you have an inner peace. Number 4, patience, that you have an even temper. Okay, you don't need everything done yesterday. You're patient. Number 5, kindness, that there is a kindness quality, a kind quality about you. Number 6, goodness, benevolence. That means I'm like Glinda the Good Witch. I am here to benefit life as a whole. My presence on the planet is beneficial. I am benevolent. Number 7, faithfulness, that you must be faithful on your path. Don't veer to the left. Don't lose faith. Don't fall out. Don't doubt. Don't worry. Don't. Be faithful on your path. Number 8, gentleness, also known as meekness or humility. This humility of spirit. Number 9, self-control, also known as self-restraint. Continence, I also call it personal mastery or self-mastery. Now, how do you get to have all these? Right? That sounds good, Reverend Val. Love, joy, peace. And yeah, I want that. How do I get to have this? None of these can you get on your own. What does Galatians 5:22 says? It says that these are the fruit of the Spirit. The Spirit within us, right? They call it in church the Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost, whatever, whatever. This Spirit, that as Spirit moves in you, it's going to shape and mold you into being a different kind of person. We would hope that there is some fruit being manifest, that you're walking with the goddess or God or whomever your deity is. It would produce some kind of quality about yourself, that you're not going to still be ratchet. If you were ratchet before, you're not going to just continue to be ratchet. That as you pray and meditate and work your magic and create alchemy and transform, that there is some quality that you will begin to exhibit, demonstrate, that you will become a different being. What kind of being is it as a Christian witch? Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. That this is what's going to naturally begin to unfold as you, because of your inner conversation with your own soul, right? Yeah. Because of your spiritual practices, because of connection with your deity, God, goddess, I am. For some it's Hecate, for some it's, Isis, for some it's Asherah, for some it's the horned god, for some it's Yeshua, for some it's Jah, Kuan Yin, Jehovah, Olodumare, Yemaya, Oshun, so many. Diana, so many. Who's yours? Who do you connect with? We would expect that whatever your connection is, that something is happening in you and in you and through you and as you, based on your communion with your deity. We would expect something. Increased power, increased wisdom, insight, perhaps knowing the future, perhaps being a healing powers amped up, perhaps being a more brighter light, perhaps being more willing to shake up the status quo and disrupt and cause transformation to occur in the world at large. We expect something to be happening in you, to you, as you, through you, as a result of your communion with whoever your deity is. And if you don't change, then what's really going on? Why do you have that deity? If you every day you're praying, let's say Isis is your goddess, and let's say every day you're praying and you're with Isis and you're communing with Isis, and you do that for a whole year and nothing changes, there's going to be a question about that. Okay? Hold on. Gotta knock at the door. Be right back. Yes. Hello. Hi.
How are you doing?
Great. How you doing?
Good to see you.
You too. I'm in the middle of something. Can I give you a call right back, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. You have a card or something?
I can just, so I have a meeting at 2. It's 1:44 right now. Do you want me to stop back by after 2?
Oh, we have a meeting at 2?
I have a meeting at 2.
Oh, you have a meeting at 2.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Can you stop by right after that?
Yeah, it'll probably be like in between 2:15, 2:30, depending on how long it takes.
Perfect time.
Cool.
Thank
See
you.
then.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Thank you. May have to edit that part out. Thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for being patient with me. All right. So if that is the case and you have, you're in commune with your deity and there's no change, maybe you need to get another deity, or you need to do something. You don't feel your power is amping up. You don't feel your healing abilities heightening. You don't see your third eye opening and becoming more expansive. You don't feel your mind changing, your spirit changing, expansion, fiery. Something should be happening inside of you as a result of whoever you are communing with in spirit realms. That's how it works. So for me, as a Christian witch, and for my path on this planet and for my walk with Christ, what is the most powerful transformation that's happening in me always and to my whole world is greater love, compassion, because Christ is a very loving, compassionate being. I've heard some say he's too loving and compassionate for me because I like to hex people and throw spells on people. Then you want to more go with someone like David, because David in the Bible was probably one of the best hexers I've ever seen. He could cast a hex on somebody and he could hex your house and your lands, and only weeds grow for you and you never have fruit again. And Christ hexed every so often. He went past a tree and he went to pluck figs from the tree, and there were no figs on the tree. The tree was barren, and he said, may you wither and never produce fruit. He hexed the tree right then, and they came back later and that tree had withered, because if it did not produce fruit, then what good is it to be there, right? So he could hex, but that wasn't his main thing, hexing, right? He could speak to demons. Of course, he was well versed in demonology. They knew him by name. Well versed in demonology. Yet, that wasn't his main thing. His main thing was healing. He was a healer, right? Powerful healer. Healing, 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 healing. And that is my number one trajectory and approach, is healing, 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 healing. Healing minds, healing on all levels, right? Healing within my own self and my own life as a result of the Christ presence. So let's look at the tarot correspondences and we'll conclude the code. So what I did was I sort of went within myself and I asked myself, which tarot cards represent these 9 fruits of the Spirit for me? And I am open to hearing from you what tarot cards represent these 9 fruits of the Spirit for you, so that we could play with it and sort of be like a silly putty and co-create together tarot correspondences that really hold up and that really align beautifully and energetically with the fruits of the Spirit. So for number 1, love, I have the Strength card. And the Strength card for me is a really powerful card about love, because it is about loving yourself and your beastly nature and transformation in love. Look how gentle and loving she is with that. So for me, the tarot correspondence for Fruit of the Spirit, number 1, love, is the Strength card. Number 2, the Joy fruit of the Spirit, also known as gladness, I have the Sun card. Because for me, the sun represents, oh, did you do the Witch and the Wizard this weekend? The Witch and the Wizard we didn't do this weekend. We were away in Vegas. I'll be live with you in a little bit. The Sun card for me is a card of bright future, enlightenment, joy, brightness, love, gladness. Number 3, the card, the Fruit of the Spirit, peace. I have for the tarot correspondence the Star card. Every time I look at the Star card, I do feel within myself a sense of peace and beauty and harmony and all that beauty that peace represents. Number 4, patience. I have the Wheel of Fortune. And the reason I have the Wheel of Fortune is because the wheel brings about all things in due time according to exactly how they're to be. Be patient, because that wheel will come right back around and it's always going to bring the just results, right? Patience, because one day you're up, but if you be patient enough, one day it'll be back the other way, and one day you're down, but if you're patient enough, you'll rise again. And number 5, kindness. For me, the Empress card represents or corresponds with kindness, because the Empress is very kind to nature. She's a nurturer of nature. She's about abundance and about mothering and about that kind touch and that nurturing warmth. And she may even be pregnant. So we consider the Empress as really this kindness. Number 6, goodness. And goodness or benevolence. And for me, that's healing. And healing is very much associated with the temperance card for me, because temperance healing is really about alchemy. Healing is about alchemy, the blending and the harmonizing of the appropriate elements to bring about a healing. So there we have the temperance card for number 6. Number 7, my faithfulness and really how to step out on faith is none other than the Fool. Because the Fool steps out there on faith, and you even see the little white dog that's like, hey, 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 wait a minute before you go. Whoa, 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 whoa. And here you see that the Fool is simply stepping out on faith off that cliff. And sometimes you just have to start your journey in faith and trust and know everything's going to be all right. Number 8, gentleness, or that humility, that meekness, that for me comes from turning deep within and really accessing and harnessing the deeper, more powerful mysteries. And that is none other than the High Priestess. You know, humility. She's humbly sitting here on her throne, yet she knows the whole secrets to the universe. That no matter how much you know, to always remain seated humbly on your throne, and you don't have to flaunt what you know. You simply know that you know, and it's in your bearing and in your being. Yet there's a humility and a meekness about it. I love that. And self-control, for me, that's the magician, because the magician is the ultimate master of self. Ultimate master of self. So if you want a study in self-mastery, in harnessing one's own power and causing that power to be released onto the earth plane in a way that creates the transformation that you desire and intend and will, here we have it, the magician, that power, that self-mastery. So there you have it. That's my code that I live by as a Christian witch. The 9 fruits of the Spirit. What transforms in me and in my world as a result of my walk as a Christian witch, and as my commune with Christ's presence within, and the desire and intention to become Christ. Enlightened. I love you. Mwah. Yes, magician can bend the world to his will, but saves his magic for the most important things. Wow. Powerful, Stitcheroo. Thank you for that. Thank you for watching. I love you. If you want more about Christian witches, go to christianwitches.com. I have some resources there for you. Also, there's a Christian Witches YouTube channel right here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the Christian Witches YouTube channel. I'm also going to edit this video because we had a little visitor in the middle of the video. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I am Valerie Love, Christian Witch and the Divine Midwife of Soul Destiny. You can find me online at valerielove.com. Peace. Make sure you subscribe, baby, and ring the bell so that when we go live, you'll get the ding dong. Love you. Love you, Mia Flores. Mwah, 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 mwah. Love you. Peace. Happy Witchy Wednesday.